THQ changes the future of Warhammer 40k Dark Millennium, and Silent Hill's Vita debut is delayed, while Assassin's Creed 3 gets set to smash a few pre-release records. Street Fighter producer Yoshinori Ono takes a bit of a break, while Spy v Spy returns from one. Audiosurf names the successor, BioWare turns down some tasty treats, and Game of Thrones gets a little bit stabby, all in this week's edition of Player Attack. Hi, I'm Jessica Citizen. After not hearing anything about the game for months, THQ has finally released an update for Warhammer 40,000 Dark Millennium. Unfortunately, it's not quite the news fans were hoping for. The publisher explains that, following efforts to secure a suitable business partner for the game failed, the eagerly anticipated foray into the massively multiplayer market has been refocused into an immersive single-player experience. And that's not the worst of it. Part of this refocusing effort has seen THQ slash 118 jobs across studios in both the US and Canada. Video Games lost 79 full-time employees and will continue working on the game, as well as putting in the hard yards on Darksiders 2. Relic Entertainment, on the other hand, suffered 39 job losses but is no longer working on the project, instead focusing on other THQ franchises including Warhammer 40k Dawn of War and Company of Heroes. Still, the significant change to the game's business model is, arguably, better than it being axed entirely, which is what the rumours were telling us back in January. Whether or not THQ is entirely out of the woods yet, though, remains to be seen. Speaking of disappointing rumours, shadows are reportedly hanging over Human Head's development of Prey 2. Last month, the developer was yoinked from several scheduled appearances at GDC in San Francisco, with the company refusing to comment on the matter. Since then, we haven't heard any official updates, but sources are reporting publisher Bethesda, or parent company ZeniMax, is shaping up to announce the game's cancellation within a week or so. Prey 2 has suffered a drawn-out development period, first announced back in 2008 but not shown off until last year. The game is currently still planned for release on all three major platforms by the end of this year, but that's looking increasingly unlikely. Getting all the bad news out of the way nice and early, it's also not looking good for Silent Hill Book of Memories. The game, the first Vita title in the series, was set for release on March 27th, but as the day approached, online retailers started pushing the date back, now listing a non-confirmed May 31st placeholder. Publisher Konami is remaining tight-lipped on the topic, offering no explanations or new dates, so if you want a bit of Silent Hill, perhaps you'd better get your fix from Downpour. Sticking with Japan for another moment, Yoshinori Ono, producer of Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter X Tekken, fainted over the weekend and was rushed to hospital following a press event in Korea. While doctors declared his situation was less serious than first thought, publisher Capcom is erring on the side of caution, giving the developer a bit of a break from work-related affairs for a little while. What that means, Ono will be temporarily stepping down as producer on Street Fighter X Tekken, potentially delaying upcoming patches for the game. After apologising profusely, Ono has suggested that he will spend some of his time off thinking about the future for fighting games, all ready for his glorious return. In happier news, Assassin's Creed 3 is still on target to arrive in late October, but Ubisoft is getting a little bit excited for the game even this far away.
The time is now at hand, which must determine whether Americans are to be free men or slaves.
North American pre-orders for the game were made available 3 weeks ago, and apparently gamers have been crawling over each other to get their hands on a promised copy. In those 3 weeks, Assassin's Creed 3 has eclipsed the United States pre-orders achieved by Assassin's Creed Brotherhood in the entirety of its lifetime. Ubisoft's most pre-ordered game to this point is Assassin's Creed Revelations, but it looks like it won't hang on to that title for long. Already, Assassin's Creed 3 has snagged more than 10 times the North American pre-orders seen by its predecessor, and it's on track to match the game's lifetime US pre-orders by June. There's been a few exciting revelations and teasers this week, including the suggested reboot of First Star Games' 1984 classic Spy v Spy, which looks like it's coming to iOS thanks to robots and pencils. The follow-up to Audiosurf may also be coming to iPhones and iPads, with indie developer Dylan Fitterer revealing plans for Audiosurf Air, which will use music from your own collection to create tracks for the puzzling racer. Minecraft also added a little grist to the rumour mill, with Carl Manner, chief executive at developer Mojang, announcing the company has been approached by a number of high-profile Hollywood producers, with the idea of TV shows also thrown around. Don't expect any news from that one for a while though. The Swedish developers have their hands full with clothing, merchandise and that lucrative Lego deal, not to mention the upcoming Xbox 360 launch. Now, the controversy over the ending to Mass Effect 3 hasn't gone anywhere, and gamers are expressing their displeasure in a myriad of ways. One major effort was a petition tied to a fundraising effort for Child's Play charity providing games for sick kids in hospital. After raising $90,000 or so, the fundraising element was closed down after PayPal reported gamers were asking for refunds after realising they hadn't somehow bought a new ending. This week's impressive approach was a little tastier. A group of disgruntled fans pulled their piggy banks, contacted a local bakery and had more than 400 cupcakes sent to BioWare's Edmonton offices. The cakes were iced in green, blue and red, but despite the frosting, each cake was virtually identical to its neighbour. The message there? Despite spending hours in the kitchen, it doesn't matter which cupcake you choose, they're all the same. Chris Priestley from BioWare graciously accepted the baked goods, explaining the gesture gained the company's attention both with its creativity and deliciousness. However, after some internal discussions, the studio decided the cakes were not sent in the context of celebrating the work or accomplishment of the Mass Effect 3 team, so the boxes of tasty goodies were donated on the fans' behalf to a local youth shelter where they were described as a rare treat. Courting similar controversy sees Capcom announce that the true ending for Asura's Wrath will be released next month as premium DLC. Episodes 19 to 22 will be released for 560 Microsoft points at the end of April. And finally this week, with the looming return of Game of Thrones to our screens, our choice of trailer was obvious. No, it's not from the HBO television adaptation, but instead the RPG version of the series currently in the works at Cyanide.
The choice was mine. The punishment should have been mine. This was why I asked you, my friend, my brother, to watch over them. How could you do this, you son of a bitch?
Sorcery! Treachery!
They trusted you. I trusted you.
Come on, Lord, and do it well. I was obeying my orders.
You have nothing to say. You were the one who convinced me to take the black.
He had to punish you, as an example to others.
We are your only hope. We are your duty.
No, wait, more!
Let me through.
Take him to the Red Key.
Lord, mercy.
Bloody cockroaches! River Spring will be mine, whether you like it or not! I feel its heat inside.
Telling the story of two heroes, one a red priest and the other a sworn brother of the Night's Watch, the game is designed to complement both the books and the TV series with a story running in parallel. As you travel the familiar paths of Westeros, you may meet a famous face or two and hopefully answer a few questions along the way. Don't get too impatient though, winter is coming, but you will have to wait a little longer. The game is due to hit PS3, PC and Xbox 360 in May. For the full version of those trailers, or for more information on any of these stories, head to playerattack.com. I'm Jessica Citizen, and while we're taking a week off next week to hang out with the Easter Bunny, we'll see you in a fortnight.